And now, it's time for Socially Awkward Media with Levack and Goss. Awkward on 104.5 The Team.
Brought to us by our friends at For Your Convenience, right there, 3rd Ave, in Waterville. They recycle all your bottles and cans. You can open an account. You don't even have to stay there. You put the number. You put your account number on the bag. You go, hey, I'm leaving it here, Rich. And then they count them for you, and they put it in your account, and you cash out once in a while.
Can't get it much better than that. Again, Socially Awkward Media, your chance to be a part of the show, which you can do all the time, all week long. But right now, we spotlight the best and sometimes the worst. Connect with us via social media, Facebook.com/1045 The Team. On Twitter at 1045 The Team. You can tweet to us at the Jeff Levack and at Tom Goz, TOMGOZZ. And we promised, if you tweeted about the Super Bowl, and you can use the hashtag starting now, hashtag Levack and Goz SB51, we would give you the recognition off the start. And we'll do that. Monty wrote it, and Monty wrote, if you guys interview Barry Sanders at the Super Bowl, ask him how the Lions can get over the hump. Or simply hug him for me, and then send us a meme of a guy getting hugged on the TV show Scrubs.
There's no way I would hug Barry Sanders. 2 reasons. The one time that I did get to interview him, he didn't seem to be a big fan of being touched. And 2, there's no way you're going to catch the man. He's just going to juke you out of your socks.
That's what I thought, too. Like, I kind of want to hug him for the effort of trying to just grab Barry Sanders as I tackled him.
I asked him, it was 2 years ago, I said, if you ran against these current rules with the way people tackle, how many yards would you run for a game? He goes 300, 400.
No one has touched his college football single-season rushing stat, by the way, and they play more games. And when Barry Sanders' record stands, they didn't count his bowl games. Crazy to think how good he was at Oklahoma State. And then, of course, you had the other people who wanted to abuse their power. Mighty Egghead wrote in, make sure to ask people about the importance of the Arizona Fall League.
Yeah, that's my man.
No, don't do that, Mighty Egghead.
I'm sure they like it.
He also asked, Levack, you should ask all the guests next week on Radio Row who their favorite Smurf is, because you are that guy.
I'm not opposed. I would probably go on Seven Dwarfs, but okay, I'll go Smurfs. I'm not. We actually have interns in the building right now working on stupid questions. Like, that's their job. Is just in case we run into some random that we have no idea what to ask them. Hey, what's your favorite Smurf?
Well, I know it's a stupid question. I only know Papa Smurf. Are there other Smurfs? There's no
Brainy Smurf, Smurfette, and then they basically just throw titles.
If you're making them up, I couldn't even say you're wrong.
But if you just Carpenter Smurf, you just throw jobs in front of their names then?
Speaking about stupid questions, Linda wrote it, and Linda wrote, is your imaginary girlfriend going with you guys to hang out with Levack in Houston?
We'll save her a seat.
It's a dumb question, Linda, even though I like you and you participate in the show.
That's a great question, Linda. Linda, I will tell you that everybody at the Super Bowl send-off party with Bud Light would walk around with their arm out like they were walking with a girl and be like, hey, guys, got your girlfriend. So one way or another, I'm sure she'll be there.
Hilarious. A room of stand-up comedians broke out at the Super Bowl send-off. Free Josh Gordon wrote into the show, and he wrote,
that's my dude.
Yeah, this is about Steph Curry. We talked about this the other day about his number not getting retired at Davidson. He wrote, I look at it like this. Why celebrate a guy who dropped out, withdrew from the school?
Yeah, so he's supporting my argument. Mm-hmm. So Davidson says flat out, you want your number retired, we're more than happy to do that for you. You just got to go ahead and graduate. But in the meantime, we're just going to have a whole section that honors you. So they're still being cool with him, but I like that. If you're going to have a standard, stand by it.
You know who I want to honor? Donors. Put your name on buildings. If you're naming a dorm after yourself and you gave us $2 million, that's the way to honor somebody. Steph Curry opens up his checkbook and gives Davidson $1 million. His jersey will be hanging up right there. The Davidson Wildcat, number 30.
Dude, you said they use the honor system for the test.
They do.
So you can open up his checkbook for $500 and have an RA pass every course for him. And then they're not living on ramen noodles for a month or two.
That is some interesting stuff. That theory has probably happened. I don't even want to accuse Davidson of it, but I know some people who definitely would have tried that.
I'd do it.
David wrote this. He actually tweeted this to you and sent you a video on Twitter. I'm not sure if you've seen the video David sent you, but he wrote, it's getting worse in Chicago. Yeah. If you read their lips, they're spelled wrong, but we're not here to criticize. You just did. Though I just did. You can clearly see a coach ask for a timeout for the Bulls, and Jimmy Butler says, for what? No. Jimmy Butler waving off Fred Hoiberg and says, no, I'm good. We're not calling the timeout.
I mean, and that's the thing is, there's actually rumors that they're going to move Butler. I'll tell you what do we got to give up? Because I would love to have Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler for Carmelo Anthony, maybe a few pieces? That'd be Chicago wanted him.
It would have to be your first pick, Melo, and then a couple other things probably.
I never really got on the Jimmy Butler bandwagon. I get he's supposed to be the superstar for Chicago now, but it felt like once Derrick Rose was hurt, they needed someone to be a superstar, and Butler was just the right guy at the right time in the right place. I've never been a big Jimmy Butler guy. I'd like to see how the Bulls continue without him, but the NBA is the only sport we can tell your coach, "No, we're good. Hey, you got to come out of the game. No, I'm going to stay in."
Right.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay. I guess you are then. Jeff wrote in, he wrote this to me. He wrote, "Lots of people care about what clubs Tiger Woods use, and he hasn't used Nike clubs since '96. He started back in 2001. Now, I may have said Tiger's been sponsored.
How dare you guys not know what Tiger's clubs are?
I'm pretty sure I said he was sponsored by Nike in '96. I may have misspoke. It's possible. But, man, Jeff, you're the only one. Anybody, callers, tweeters, texters, people right into the show. You are the only one who has said they care about Tiger Woods' golf clubs.
You know who we're not going to golf with?
Jeff.
Because he'll kick our butts because he's clearly a golfer.
He is definitely a golfer.
And he's not going to respect that I'm going to drink a Bud Light every hole.
Jeff might have been waiting to find out what Tiger was using and then bought his stuff next.
He's been waiting. He's been like, somebody's going to screw up and say that Tiger used Nike clubs. I'll be ready.
You know what? I'll give Jeff credit, though. I don't know how many golf fans, like golf is their number one sport, have a Twitter. I feel like it's still an older sport.
I had a Twitter. Mr. Twitter, he's a parakeet. We love him. Look at him. He's like, you're old.
Dennis decided to bring some heat on Twitter. He wrote, "Spring football, come see a fat crybaby, an alcoholic rich brat, and a woman beater. Ray Rice is the only one who deserves a second chance."
Yeah, because Vince Young, Ray Rice, and Manziel are all linked to the spring league that's supposed to be coming up.
Yikes, Dennis. Tell us how you really feel, man.
Hey, man, I think Ray Rice deserves a second chance. I think if Vince Young gets his fat butt in the gym, he deserves a second chance. Manziel puts down the pipe or whatever he's on this week, he deserves a second chance. But I don't blame anybody who hates those three and doesn't want to see him succeed.
No, and you know what? There's another side of it, too. A lot of people want to see them fail.
Yeah.
And they may tune in to watch them fail.
Yeah, think about that. If it's not for the spring league, we don't get to see anybody else hit them.
No. Ja wrote in and said, "Jimmy," referring to Coach Jimmy Patsos, "the realest coach out there and funniest."
That's fair. I'll agree with that.
I think he quoted Iggy Azalea. First things first, I'm the realist, right?
Yeah. 104.5, the team's socially awkward media going on right now. Patsos goes out, does the mime handshake, makes national news. He gets in trouble for it. Like, who was talking about Siena basketball this early in the year before Patsos did his mime handshake? Come on.
Not a lot of people, no. And we're going to talk to Coach Patsos tomorrow at 2:15 about, I'm sure, the upcoming matchup and everything going on with Siena Saints.
What? I don't know if I'm going to ask him.
All right, you don't have to. I mean, they talked about it last week on the air, so we can move on from it.
I want to know, like, are we going to keep getting better? The way we're getting better? We can keep winning? I want to win.
Good.
I want to win. All I want to do is win.
We'll ask him those questions. By the way, you can follow that at 1045 The Team. You want to tweet in here during Socially Awkward Media at 1045 The Team, at the Jeff Levack, and at Tom Gozz, TOMGOZZ. Jason Himes, our winner from Super Bowl 50 send-off, he wrote in, "As a veteran, I don't even get Veterans Day off," when this came up about the Super Bowl being a national holiday the day after that, Monday.
Yeah, because Hines wants to have Monday or something like that, the Super Bowl Monday.
Yep.
And like I'm not into it because we're not going to get Monday off. And I like Hines' point. He's like, dude, seriously, like, shouldn't we like honor some of the better holidays we have right now first, and then we'll work our way into new ones? We also got an email. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head.
Brian
apologize.
BP or something was his
Brian,
initials,
who wants to know why they don't just do the Super Bowl on Saturday. I'll tell you this. I don't think it'll ever happen, mainly because they own that city for a week, and they do so much stuff on that Saturday. They make money, they get exposure. It's not a one day game anymore. It's a week game.
Casey wrote in, remember we had the discussion about Ted Cruz and Grayson Allen and Deadspin, the Twitter beef that was going on, a.k.a. the Tweef?
There's no Tweefs.
Casey wrote in, I can honestly say I've only read a handful of Deadspin articles in my entire life.
That's fair.
Really? You say why?
Yeah, because I like I said, once upon a time they were pretty good, but they're just bitter and angry.
They're just not funny either. If you have a really funny website and you're like, doing satire or whatever, impressions, cool. Like if you're Saturday Night Live on a website, then I'm into that. But you're just going out of your way to be mean, and that's what Deadspin's been. And since the Lene Cuca story 4 years ago, no one's cared about Deadspin. They haven't done anything to be real. Awful announcing, the big league. They catch people. What?
Was that the same name as your girlfriend?
What?
Linnea, whatever?
No, it is not. It's not the name of my girlfriend.
You sure?
Andrew wrote into the show. Andrew wrote this. True, run-stopping defensive tackles are hard to come by. They, the New York Giants, need to sign Jonathan Hankins. They need to say goodbye to Jason Pierre-Paul.
Well, now Pierre-Paul's asking for like $85 million. Yeah, bye-bye. See you later. Enjoy playing for the Packers. I wonder how that cold's going to feel on your nubs where your fingers used to be. He's out of his mind. He thinks he's getting 80+.
No, yeah, of course he's out of his mind. And you know what? Jonathan Hankins is a big deal.
Yeah.
If it's not Adrian Peterson, I know we just brought him up a bit ago, but Hankins has got to be right there, the top-tier guys. The Giants have to do everything they can to bring him back.
And I got a whole offseason to work with Romeo Okwara.
Right.
And hope that he can really fill in now. I want JPP back, but I want him back for like $6 million a year, not 20.
Remember when we were talking about tiers and quarterbacks earlier this week? Who's a top tier? Who's a tier 1, a tier 2? Richard wrote in and he wrote, Grayson Allen is a tier 1.
You're dang right he is.
Fuck on! It's Grayson Allen's music! This is socially awkward video!
You just can't hold him down.
Richard has tweeted in like 3 weeks in a row wanting that. Like he's always tweeting it about Grayson Allen now. So good for Richard staying on the Grayson Allen. I think he just wants to hear us go nuts during the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme. This is when we started to get ripped apart, which is usually, for some people, the favorite part of socially awkward media. I tweeted this out yesterday. I said, I'm willing to wager right now that no one in Albany except me is watching these shows consecutively after 11 o'clock at night. Conan, Pac-12 basketball, and NXT wrestling. You willing to say that? Jeff wrote into me. He wrote, no one in the world is doing that, guys.
Yeah, Conan's kind of slipping. They have a couple good bits a week. Maybe.
UCLA, USC, good game last night.
That's a fun game. Okay. NXT wrestling.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that last one.
Yeah. Did you call for mom to bring you more cereal and stuff in the middle of that? Or?
It only gets worse from here. Actually, you're involved in this next one here.
Okay.
Someone wrote in and wrote, I think it was Scott who wrote it. Yeah, it was Scott. Scott wrote in, Abigail could be Gail's nickname. You and I wanted to figure out what's Gail. Is it Gail like a regular name? Yeah. Is it a nickname? Right. What's it a nickname for? He claims Abigail.
Right. That's what Woodsy said too, producer Woods, that Abigail could be short for Abigail. Okay. You win.
How about this one? Brian wrote in and said Newfoundland is a part of Canada.
Good for you, buddy.
You and I both debated whether or not we knew where Newfoundland was.
Look, Brian, I do trivia every week, and I need a geography guy. So if you could come out, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. MJD wrote in again, responded to me and wrote, I had a tweet about me almost choking on a sticker that I ate off an apple last week on Friday. MJD wrote in, he wrote, hey guys, your majors at Hobart were how to consume alcohol in words or fun. Thanks, MJD. That was really nice of you.
Should have been words with friends. That would have been better.
And then our final one came out via Facebook just moments ago. I tweeted something out, I posted on Facebook. You and I will be at the Times Union Center on Friday. Give a little preview to the show, what's coming up. Posted it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/1045 The Team. Kevin Miller wrote, great. 2 idiots that don't know football. Thanks. ESPN as a whole is terrible now.
Well,
we're going to a basketball game.
Right. So you're a jackwagon. 2 idiots who don't know football. Okay, well, first of all, I think we're pretty good at football. I think we're pretty good.
Hang on. If we said we were going somewhere else, if you and I said we were going to the U-Albany football game and you wanted to write that, fine. You know, it's right. American. Write whatever you want. But the fact that you wrote 2 idiots that don't know football, thanks, when we're going to the Iona Siena basketball game tomorrow, makes that one of my favorite / dumbest things we've ever seen on socially awkward media.
But hey, thanks for listening. Oh, I know why. He's a Steelers fan. He's a crybaby Steelers fan, just like his quarterback.
Again, a reminder, it is Siena versus Iona basketball tomorrow at the Times Union Center.
Put a little air cast on your feelings.
That's socially awkward media.